Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Samantha and this is my channel Among.stouts, and I am a homeschooling mom to 5 kiddos and I only homeschool 4 of them. And today we're going to talk about my oldest, who is a sophomore this year. If you are new here, we do a little bit of a different start and end schedule in our homeschool, and I know for him this is going to shift probably next year as he gets closer and closer to graduating, just so that he's ready for the next step after his senior year. But for now, this is what works for us. We start homeschooling around the last week of October and we finish about the first, somewhere in early August. I think this year it was the second week of August when we finished up. So we are just now getting ready to start our homeschool year. So you are going to be seeing all of my curriculum picks coming up, all of the books my kids are reading, and all of the things that we're going to be doing for the 2025-26 homeschool year. And so that's why you're seeing ours just now. It's just because I do things and film things according to when it's the right time for my family. So I'm still excited to share this with you guys. These are some of my favorite videos to watch. So yeah, if you guys are interested in what my kids did in the 2024-25 school year, I actually just filmed that maybe about a month or so ago. So probably back in August. As we were finishing up our school year, or right after we finished up our school year, I filmed a very long video that showed all of my kids and what we did for that school year. So if you're interested in seeing what exactly he did for his freshman year, go and check out that video. I will have it linked for you guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I will start by saying that we homeschool a little bit differently. So I only have a handful of textbooks to show you, and then I'm going to show you guys all of the subjects that he's doing with the alveary, or tell you guys what he's doing with Ambleside Online. And then in a separate video that I'll film right after this to go up separately from this video, I will share with you guys all of the books for term 1. And the reason why I'm doing that is because my idea is to have a video for each term for the books that we're doing, because some of them are going to be the same, but I didn't want this video to be too long, having all of the books that he's going to be doing in just his first term. And I didn't want to include all of the year's books, so I figured we'd show what he's doing as far as his main subjects for the whole year, and then over the course of this school year, I'll share with you guys videos for term 1, term 2, and term 3 for each of my kiddos and what they're reading. And you'll see probably throughout, or maybe I'll let you guys know, there's a lot of books. Some of them they read throughout a term. Some of these books they read over the whole school year, and some of them they read over the course of several school years. So yeah, it looks like a lot, but it's really they're not reading all of these books all the time, all at once. Yeah, we're not even talking about the books today, so let's go ahead and get into the core subjects that my kids are doing, or that my sophomore is doing. We will go ahead and start with his subjects, or we will go ahead and start with his languages for this year, because he is doing 2 languages. Actually, both of my older kids are doing 2 languages this year. And they did the same thing last year. So he is moving on to the Elementary Greek 2 from Memoria Press. He did the Greek 1 in his freshman year. Really liked it. Honestly, he thinks that he can do more of these, and it's Greek for beginners. There's a total of, I think, 3 or 4 of these, and I'm pretty sure he wants to knock them out and move on to something else. Not because it's not good, but just to get more Greek under his belt is what he's wanting to do. So in his freshman, I didn't share it, I don't think, but before he started the Greek 1, I had him do the Greek alphabet course from Memoria Press. So he did the Greek alphabet course from Memoria Press and then went into Greek 1. And so this year he has Greek 2. And as soon as he's done with Greek 2, I didn't purchase it yet because I didn't really know that he wanted to move on. But as soon as he finishes this one, we will add in the Greek 3, and then we'll see what he's going to do from there. And I shared this textbook with you guys in one of my haul videos recently, and I'm excited for this, and he's looked through it and he's actually excited for it too. And this is the Latin for Americans book 1. So he's going to be completing this year. And then I actually did go and search online, and I came across the book 2 on thrift books. I don't know. The only thing that makes it hard with these being so old is I'm not sure if it's the right edition that follows this one. But I'm going to get it anyways, and then, you know, eventually, you know, when he's done with this one, he can move on to that one. And so yeah, that covers his Latin for this year. For math this year, he is going to be doing the Harold Jacobs Geometry. I'm really excited about this course. He has gone through, he just finished the Principles of Algebra 2 with Masterbooks this year and really enjoyed having the online component. So this geometry is actually recommended. There's lesson plans for this with the alveary. So I might go ahead and I didn't print them off, but I might go ahead and get those lesson plans out because they include some other like videos and things like that to pair with it. So I'm gonna look through that, through those lesson plans and see the videos that they're pairing with this course, just to see if that's something that I want to do, or if I do want to go ahead and get the Masterbooks Academy course to go along with this for him. He loves doing math in a textbook, so I always make sure for him to have the textbook. And then I would say once we got past Algebra 1, it took a lot more thinking for me to remember how to help him. So having the Academy course for the times that he wasn't quite grasping the concept was really nice. And that was actually only a couple times, but he didn't use the Academy course for every lesson, but when he did, it was very, very, very important for him that he had that, and it was so helpful. So we'll see what the Alvieri's plans have for this. Otherwise, he'll just do this along with the Masterbooks Academy as needed. Actually, I'll go ahead and do science. So his science for this year is the Master Class Chemistry, and this is put out by Masterbooks. He did the Masterbooks Biology this year. The biology worked out really well for my son, and again, I had the Masterbooks Academy course to go along with that. But what I like about these is the lessons are super straightforward, easy for him to understand, especially paired with the Academy. We had the lab kit. He was able to follow along with all of that. But there's a lot of, like, we also do science in a Charlotte Mason way, where my son, or all of my kids, are reading lots of living books, they're going out and they're doing nature study, and they're doing a lot of things outside. So paired with the Masterbooks Biology course last year, he had an advanced nature study course that he did with it. And then he also did a lot of hands-on gardening out with me. And then he had lots of readers lots of books that he read to go along with science. So I think if you're doing it in that way without having a super overwhelming science course, if you're wanting to add in a lot of other things anyways, these courses are really good. At least the biology worked out really well for us, and we are looking forward to also doing the chemistry. So yeah, we have that. I still need to get his lab kit and again the Academy course to go with that. Okay, and last for textbooks, his one of his electives this year is the Worldviews in Conflict. I purchased this from Masterbooks. I also saw that you can purchase it through Generations Homeschool. The author is Kevin Swanson. And this is a study in Western philosophy, literature, and culture. He's really into studying and understanding our biblical worldview and how to apply that to everything in what he's reading, what he's doing, what he's coming across in our culture. Actually, he is just finishing up right now, but last year was the first year we sent him to a Worldview Academy camp, and he really loved it, and he went again this year. And so when we were looking through some of the elective courses, this was one that stood out to him because he's already kind of been introduced to some of this a little bit. If you guys are interested in a flip through of anything that I have, just let me know down in the comments and I will be sure to film that for you guys. I'll just tell you like the contents in here. So it has, it starts off with the War of Worldviews, Who Will Be God, and then there's Worldviews in Philosophy. So It goes through a lot of the philosophers. So there's Thomas Aquinas, John Locke, John Jacques Rousseau, Karl Marx, Ralph Waldo Emerson, John Dewey, Charles Darwin, just to name a few. And then there's worldviews in literature, which is something that he and I have kind of went through a little bit. Let me see. I have these books that I can show you guys really quickly. Let me grab them. So at Parents' Day, at the end of the camp last year, the worldview camp that he goes to, I went ahead and purchased, because we educate classically, one of the things with the classical education is you are coming against a lot of different philosophies and authors and their literature that are going to be contradictory to what we believe as Christians. And so what I like about that is allowing my kids the opportunity to wrestle with their ideas, wrestle with their own beliefs and their worldview and how those intersect, and being able to think critically and have discussions about that. And so one of the things that I got for myself at that Worldview Academy, as their teacher, I picked up these great books. Well, they're books on the great books. So it's Thinking Biblically About Great Conversation. And it basically helps you to apply your worldview and thinking critically to a lot of books throughout the time period. So this one will have, this is the Ancients. I have Medieval, Reformation, and the New World. Basically, like, so the New World has, like, you're going to read about Paradise Lost, which that is something that my son's reading this year. So that's going to be the chapter in here that I really want to read through before he starts that. I did the one on common sense because he read that last year. And same with Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. He read that last year as well. And he's also started the Federalist Papers. So it just helps to guide me as his teacher to be able to have questions and answers as he's reading those books and really, like, you know, chewing on and wrestling with those ideas that they had and that we're coming across. So let's see. The Reformation has Othello, Poetry and Prose of John Donne, Don Quixote. There's a few others. I'll just tell you guys a couple of the ones that are on here. And I really wish I'd had this one before, because my son and my daughter have already both read Beowulf. I think she read Beowulf this year, but I hadn't gotten to reading this yet. So Beowulf is in this one. Inferno, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, The Imitation of Christ, which I think is on my son's list later this year, and Utopia, which he read this last school year before I had the chance to read that. And then this one, especially if you are Charlotte Mason class school, the Ancient one is going to be your best friend, because it has mythology, the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Republic, Aristotle, Julius Caesar, the Aeneid, and all of those kinds of things. So this is like mom's course on worldview and how to guide her kids in discussion and critical thinking in that. And then this is like my son's version of basically all of those books. So in here, for literature that they go through, they'll go through The Third Battlefront, William Shakespeare, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Mark Twain, and Ernest Hemingway. So yeah, and he's actually really, really excited to dig into this. Oh, it made my throat so itchy. Time for a drink. So now that we've gotten through all of his textbooks, I think the easiest way that I have planned to do this is to show you guys these subjects that he's doing with the Alviary, and then I'll do a separate video that I'll film right after this one, but I'll just have them go up separately so that I'm not putting up a super long video. But I will share the books with you guys in another video. The other thing that I want to share that I will put up, I don't know if I'm going to film that today just because I'm starting to run out of time. My kids have cross country tonight. But I do want to put up a video talking about high school planning, how I have gone about planning out my son's high school, and what that's looking like in regards to potentially playing sports in high school and how all of that looks with the NCAA, which when you're homeschooling in a state like Texas where you kind of have the amazing freedom and flexibility to kind of choose all of your kids' courses and allow them to learn and grow in whatever ways, however, you know, you guys choose, that kind of gets a little, you kind of get put in a little bit of box if you have a kiddo that's interested in, one, going to college, and then two, more of a box if your kids want to play a sport at the NCAA. In NCAA, there's also like junior college and NAIA, which are some other leagues. But this is not the video for that. But I just want you guys to know that I know I had a request for more high school content, and so it's noted. I've been taking notes, and it's just a matter of getting that filmed for you guys. So back to what we're doing. I have all of these. I was wondering, last year it didn't seem like my kids had so much alveary, and he actually didn't. He did most of his courses through, he had a couple of textbooks and then mostly Ambleside. But with Ambleside, as you get into the high school years, it's more of a salad bar, and there is not as much structure to it. And for me, I really struggle with decision fatigue. And so I pulled my son along and got his opinions, and we stuck with some of the books that he wanted from Ambleside. And then we decided to add in some structure and do mostly alveary this year for him for high school. And I think that will be the way that all of my kids go, is they'll probably do heavily Ambleside in middle school and then switch over to mostly alveary for the continued structure. So one of his electives is architecture. He did architecture last year, as well as my daughter. They're both doing it again this year. Same with geography. And then he's got poetry. So I have he's got like his poetry study plan, so exactly what he has to do for poetry study, and then a reading notebook. So this one just tells him like what his poetry reading will be, and then this one is like what he's actually studying. And then along with that, we have recitation, which is also, this usually is coming from scripture or from poetry as well. It's memorizing and reciting. This is how I continue with my kids presenting in our homeschool, even though we're no longer part of CC, being able to have them still do recitations and memorize things and present them, even if it's just the family or on a camera. Sometimes they'll practice that way. He's doing some literature with the alveary, mostly literature still with Ambleside. Econ and civics, he's got a combination of, so economics will be with alveary, and some of the government is with Ambleside. And so here we have his citizenship, and the thing that I have with this is for current events, his ethics. He does ethics, which is Plutarch. We do that as a family. Sorry, my two kids are out there playing. They should be playing nicely, but I'm not sure. And then current events. This is just a reminder, if I've not put on World Watch, by the time he gets to current events, he's got it on his own iPad and he can watch it and take notes there. Again, he's doing Bible. I mentioned this in my 2024-25 homeschool, that this is the cost that I pay for alveary. If it was just for Bible for all of my kids, it's 100% worth it. They have a couple of new electives this year, and I went back and forth on which one to do, and I settled on technology. So he will be excited about, or he is very excited about this course. And the other one that they have is health. The reason why I didn't do that is because I've actually been working on a health curriculum of sorts for him, specifically for that he would be interested in. So I've been gathering, or doing my own research and trying to find resources that would be something that he's more interested specifically. As a runner, you can imagine he's really interested in learning more about the human body in that way of becoming a runner, being a great runner, what it takes physically, mentally, spiritually, and nutritionally. So I'm working on something like that for him. I don't know when it'll be ready. It's been quite the little project. So that is why I ended up not choosing the Alvieri's health elective. But last but not least is history, and he's really doing a combination between Ambleside and Alvieri for history. Okay, so those are all of the Alvieri courses plus the textbooks that my son is doing for his sophomore year. Like I've already said a couple times, I will show you guys all of the books he's reading in a part 2 video, so keep your eye out for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you have any questions about his freshman year, sophomore year, any of the things that maybe you would want to see in the high school video that I'm planning on filming soon, go ahead and let me know what those questions are, because I was planning on filming it after the book video, but I just don't think I'm gonna have time. So that gives you guys time to let me know what you want to know about. That is all that I have for you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.